In 2000, 2001, Oberoi Hotels, Mr. Pierret Oberoi, Krishnan Kumar, and they thought that perhaps the government doesn't listen to us because we have a multiplicity of associations who are lobbying individual causes, be it hotels, airlines, travel, DMCs, so on and so forth. We must have one grouping who will then try and interlocute and try and explain the way forward, the best way forward for how we should put India on the world map. And that's how we were formed in 2001. We are a small grouping of people in India. We are only 26. But of course, it covers all, cuts across all lines of the industry. And today, when we have discussions with the ministry, they do give us a kind ear.
Thank you. That wasn't 30 seconds, that was 300 seconds. The India initiative for WTTC is in place. We have the AH&LA doing the India chapter. Simon is here from 18 years, I'm told. I'll just request Frank or Mr. Rama to tell us about the HFTP India chapter that you launched. And the last question will go to Dr. Ghassan, Aidi, to say, all these gentlemen have India initiatives. When are you doing the IH&RA India? We can call it anything.
HFTP is going to celebrate 60 years in October. And HFTP puts together the world's biggest technology show on earth called high tech. People know about high tech, but they don't know the parents of high tech is HFTP. With a lot of international exposure that India is getting in the hospitality arena, the executive committee at HFTP and the board of directors decided as a strategic plan, we need to be where we think our resources of education can be utilized. HFTP is a non-profit organization that is a source and resource for education in the field of finance and technology. We have a research center at University of Houston where our members can ask any questions to the research center and get answers at no cost if they are members of HFTP. We have a lot of big libraries at HFTP that we maintain as resources of education in the field of finance and technology. The other thing that we have is opportunities of networking. If as a finance person or as a technology person, there is something that is getting introduced into the marketplace, and if I don't have answers to it, I have a network of 4,600 members who are in that same field of finance and technology that I can pick up the phone and ask a question, and I will get answers from every one of them, and that is the networking opportunity.
So the consultants are redundant?
The consultants are redundant to a greater extent because we, as we see as members, consultants are members of HFTP, but they are paid for their services.
The hoteliers no longer need to employ them?
They need to employ them to a certain extent, but how do you verify that they are consulting with you for profit, or they have a personal agenda in selling and promoting the specific vendors that they do business with on commission basis?
Are FHRAI members listening to this?
If I can call up a member from Oberoi or Taj and say, I had this problem in my network security, what is the best way to resolve this issue? Will I get a true answer from him, or will I get a true answer from a consultant?
Surely,
and which one is going to cost me less? If I get 5 answers, it's up to me to choose which is the best that's applicable to me personally. Rather than me doing something that a consultant is asking me to do, here I have 5 of my colleagues who are my friends, who do this day in, day out, face the challenges, are helping me as a member. PCI compliance is a big white elephant that people in India are not aware what it is. I mean, it is a huge thing. At HFTP, we have a PCI council we've created.
We have a subcommittee in FHRAI, as I told yesterday,
Right.
headed by Mr. Vivek Nair, and the PCI DSS has become active for the last 1 year.
Right.
Dr. Aidi, what about India? How are you looking at India?
I was just going to follow up on that. I think PCI compliance is a major thing across the world. We have a committee that works on that also, and together with all these other groups, because one of the important things of having these different associations is we all work together on major projects and major areas, whether it be legislation or PCI compliance or anything else. That's the beauty of the association world.
No, I just would say that, you know, this is a perfect example of the reason that all of us have members is because when we have a problem, as we are looking to open an office here in India, what did I do? I asked Mr. K.V. Simon, hey, I need some information, just like you or our members would ask each other. So, you know, you're to be congratulated for being a part of an organization like FHRAI. And now Dr. Ghassan is going to tell us when we're coming to India again.
Let me tell you, why should I come to India? I have already 1, 2, 3 members of IH&RA are in India. If I need something, I will take my telephone. Joe, can you help? Frank, can you help? Kamlesh, can you help? And they will be glad to help. Why should I open an office?
Very, very
But
diplomatically.
Here's the problem. We have to come to India to meet you, even though we live down the street from each other.
No, the issue of opening office worldwide, it's impossible. We have members everywhere. If I open an India office, the Nepal will say, why not here? China Hotel Association has been running after us since exactly 7 years. Come to Hong Kong, come to Beijing, come to Shanghai, open an office. We need you locally to help us to organize the hotel industry. And we tell them, we cannot. You can come to us. We can help from there. We can send consultant. We can do that. One time I got the idea, some people in the IH&RA board got the idea, why we don't divide IH&RA to 4 babies. One will be called EH&RA, European Hotel Restaurant Association. Okay. One will be called AHRA, American. One will be called ASIHRA, Asia. I told them, if we have any issue in the United States, the best who's there is AH&LA. Right. Why should I open there? And they know the market. They are there. They are the biggest and the strongest. Then I just have to take my telephone, say, Joe, we need your help in this issue. And Joe will do it. And if I have a problem in Europe, we have OTREC. OTREC is very strong in Europe. I can ask this. This is why the international organization, they do cooperate between themselves. They don't compete because each organization has its own issues locally or internationally. They do no competition inside. They try to help each one the other one.
Joe had actually started this conversation with us a year back when he came to Bombay, and when we had a closed-door meeting with a few members. What he said was, you got to become a member of the AH&LA to get access to all our resources. But just because we exchange hands as presidents, he was able to open up the entire gates for us, and we had our Secretary General send in the daily updates from AH&LA to all our members on soft. So this is where we are trying to synergize with other associations and bring the resources.
Now, let me talk about our relationship with Mike. Let me talk about, can you hear? Yeah. Let me talk about our relationship with the Asian American Hotel Owners Association. Many of their members are members of us. We collaborate on all kinds of issues, not in competition, but as partners. And so, you know, in the United States where there are 2 different associations, it works very well together.
Yeah, and we actually majority of our members are also members of AH&LA, because we have a state partnership where we are part of state. AAHOA is being it a national organization with AAHOA members being from Asia or whatever. We also have a state level partnership which is separate, which AH&LA partners with, and we have a state partnership. So it's important, I think, rather than running association, we all know it's not easy. You have to commit resources, the membership, you guys are here who are the members of it. So if you don't have a committed membership group, then you can form organization and then it can collapse. So being a successful organization, the like-minded associations need to be together, and if we can work together in collaboration and use our resources and networking, then I don't think we need to open up new chapters. Rather, opening up new chapters, we work with the existing chapter that are there, that is more, I think, is beneficial.
I just need to add one thing.
Yes.
I just need to add one thing. Joe and me, we live in the same city. Joe and myself, we live in the same city,
Right.
but we meet in India. Because Joe travel all over the world. I do spend most of my time in Switzerland, the head office of IH&RA. We don't have the chance to meet in Washington, D.C., but we meet here in Goa.
Could you give us your views on the global hospitality industry, and what impact will it have on the travel and the tourism industry?
Well, the global hospitality industry, let's take a look at the United States. We're not doing any development in the United States at all. After the economic downturn we had started in 2008, but the credit crunch started in 2007. We're seeing tremendous development across Asia and the former Soviet Union countries. But with all of that brings tremendous opportunities for places like India, because we're now starting to see tremendous development. All the international companies are developing here and providing those additional hotel rooms that you need to grow travel and tourism to the $12 million people coming in. But India, even though they have that tremendous opportunity, they also need to have the infrastructure in place to take care of it and the lift to get in to do it. So we're seeing more people traveling every day, but they're picking what markets they go to. And if it isn't easy to go to a market, and we find that in the United States because of our security concerns after 9/11, we've made it very difficult for people to come to the United States. And we're trying to fight that with our government. To get more of those 12 million people here, you're going to have to release some of the barriers, take those 17 visa waiver countries, taking them up to the 34, and make it easier. So, but travel and tourism is alive and well internationally, and it's a tremendous opportunity for India.
Basically, there are a lot of economic downturns and upturns in all the industries, but the service industry is one that is stronger than the others when economic times are bad, because people help each other in the service industry. What we have seen is, because of the uncertainty in the security arena, people are afraid of traveling to certain countries. Not to say that other countries don't have those problems that India is having. You find bombing and shooting and everything in other countries too. But anything that's happening within the India, and I'm just talking very candidly with you people, because that's the impression outside, that India is a very unsecure country. It's on all websites. Be careful when you travel to India. When I come to this country, I don't feel insecure. But if something is happening in other countries, you don't see that is publicized, that it's unsafe to travel to, say, UK because they had some people burning cars or they had riots there or whatnot. That's a
some
big
issue on
challenge.
insurance also of any foreigners coming to India have insurance issues?
There are big insurance issues when organizations from foreign countries want to do some business in this country. They are not ready to insure even conferences or meetings.
No, sir, I beg to differ. So I'm in the travel and tourism business, and we are recipients of a very large number of North American travelers to India. Let me set the record straight. Yes, there's been a perception issue on India, a perception, but that's a thing of the past. Today, India is finding pride of place in the world travelers' itinerary, and most certainly the North American traveler is coming to India. Besides WTTC, I run Abercrombie in Kent. So I must share with you, in large numbers, we are now seeing a resurgence of American operators who had earlier removed India from their brochures, et cetera, are putting them back in. They are launching new programs, and business is at its best at this point in time.
We understand. We agree with you. We agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
That's what exactly we are trying to tell you, that we did not experience that. But on US government website, you will see that India is unsafe country to travel.
Travel advisories.
Travel advisories are existing.
No, sir, only in certain parts of India. You can go to Kashmir, you can go to Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, and so on and so forth.
Sir,
But
I
not-
think you're correct. What you're not understanding is that what RP and Frank, what we're trying to say is that the advisories that go out, even when we were traveling here, as a chairman, as a president, we got an advisory that 2 weeks ago,
Yes, 2 weeks
that
ago. when
India
they had-
is unsafe to be traveling.
Because of what happened in Pragati
we-
Maidan.
We individually are insured by the corporate insurances. So we get, as soon as these advisory go out, we get the warning that, hey, despite these advisories that are being issued, if you travel and something happens to you, we might not cover you. That's what we are trying to say. Perception, we're talking about perception, not only perception, the reality of having advisories. These advisories are being sent by the proper authorities, right? So when we get it, then we know it. Me as being Indian RP, we know it. When we bring Frank and Joe with us that, you will be taken care of. But as a regular traveler, as a company, if companies willing to send somebody or planning to send someone, when they see these advisory, they say, well, we advise you not to travel.
Let me ask the next question.
I think that maybe our government would like to get rid of me because they didn't send me the advisory.
No, Joe, we do that all the time. The moment there's a travel advisory, we go and meet up the authorities here and tell them, please understand these advisories are going to be anti-tourism advisories. And that's where they take cognizance.
One of the problems with the advisories that we have in the United States is you can go to the ambassador here in India. He can then send it to Washington, and they really don't pay attention to that. They pay attention to what some analyst is seeing in, whether it's in the newspapers or different accounts out there, and that's the problem that we have in the United States with sending out these advisories. And sometimes they'll be on the State Department website for 6 or 7 months after the incident is passed. So that's one of the things that we're working with the different countries.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about hotelier. Hotelier does not look at advisory. When last year I decided to do our congress in Nepal, they had several advisory on Nepal. I did not get one guy, when I sent it to everybody, telling me, oh, in Nepal, we cannot go there because it's not secure. Everybody came to Nepal. And when I told them, are you going to stay at the hotel? Well, not one of them stayed at the hotel. Everybody went outside, took picture everywhere, went to things. And it's the same for India. When we were invited by you to come to India, the whole board said no problem. We did not get one from the board saying, oh, wait 1 minute.
Yeah, but you're different. You're in the travel and tourism business. You understand it. But I think what the problem is with the normal common person that's taking that one trip a year and they take a look at it. And so I think as international associations and national associations, it's our obligation to work with the government to make sure that they have the right information and that they don't go over the top on these
Don't
things.
take me wrong, we are all in the same boat. What we are trying to work together with you and with the Indian contingent to say that something needs to take place with us collectively working. If we want to improve tourism into India, we have to work together to remove all these conceptions that are being sent out there for common man and discouraging them to travel to India.
Okay, tell me how these hospitality education students can benefit out of our synergy. Is there a possibility of doing anything for the benefit of the students with our resources? We've got research, we've got, you can name it, and we have it in our associations. How do the student fraternity take advantage of it?
Well, I'll speak to HFTP. We allow students that are in hospitality schools that are interested in careers in hospitality to be members of our association for free. They get to participate in our research. They can read our articles. They can subscribe to our magazine online because we think that that's a commitment that we need to make. Working with the other associations, all of us try to help. I think I can say this for most of us at least, each other's scholarship funds. Joe, I think, has the biggest one, and I'll let him speak to that, but that's kind of where we are.
Yeah, we have student chapters, and but we charge the students like $25 just so that they have a little skin in the game, so that it isn't free, because if it's free, you know, we learn to, you know, that sometimes you need to have something in there to make it worthwhile. But we have about 4,000 students that are members of our organization, and we feel that we provide them with everything that we have. On top of it, our educational institute is dealing with all kinds of universities, not only in the United States but around the world. We've got about 400 universities around the world that are using our textbooks and curriculum.
IH&RA has one category for membership for all hotel, school, or university that teach hospitality. We have over 100. We have even 3 or 4 schools from India. And we have a foundation called Foundation for the Future, FFF. And any school, every year, we have a limited number. We don't have much funds to do that at all. But we have a limited number. Every school can suggest 1 or 2 and to do just a training at our hotels. And we call our hotels member in Switzerland and in Europe, and we send them their resume. Then we can provide a job training for those students. Last year I had 3 students from Nepal that I placed in